So I have some slugs for it that are I'm actually gonna put in a new target because I want to zero the scope. I actually have some. The biggest I was able to make the slugs to fit them in that gun. I mean, in those magazines, the 25 caliber magazines. I got two magazines for each caliber, which sometimes I kind of wish I had more than two of the one that I use the most, which is 25 caliber. 30 calibers if I'm shooting something a little bigger, and then even then I usually just grab the Rattler since I bought it. So the 30 caliber probably won't get used that much, but the because my Challenger I don't really shoot that much anymore. Plus it's so damn loud. But anyways, the slugs, the biggest I was able to fit in the 25 caliber even, and this is with me having used a Dremel on the inside of the outside plate, the clear plate on the inside of that. The biggest I was able to go was 50.6 grain 25 caliber slugs. These were the biggest 25s I was able to do. So they're pretty big. You get a lot of energy with those, and I had those going 1,000 feet per second. So now I could probably get them over. I mean, I could have gone higher with this 22, obviously, but I just stopped it there. And then the most frequently used ones I used were 48 grain even, give or take half a grain or so, but they're right around 48 grain. But 48 grain was a little, I don't have to keep dremeling any further on the inside of the magazines to make sure that it will rotate while I'm firing. It'll index rather. Okay, let's get this centered. I'm gonna zero the scope real quick. Pretty close. Now. I also have an ATN X sight, which I should probably use so that I could have you guys see. Oh, I'm getting 1033 by the way, so I could have you guys see downrange, and I know I can take the video off and all that, but I haven't bothered with video editing to add it in, but sooner or later I will do that. Oh, nice. It's the same damn hole. It's dead center now. Oh yeah. Still the same hole. A little high. 1022. It was actually a little lower speed too. Same hole, 1034. Same hole, 1028. That went quick. Here we go. I'm shooting through the same spot over and over. I'll show you. There's you know, several random holes around the target that are from me zeroing the scope, and then once I get it pointed in, zeroed in, then it stops doing that. So I have there's one or two that are, I mean, to me are flyers. They're very close, but you can draw your own opinions. So over here, so hold on a second. This here, this is what I consider a flyer right there. Everything else is all through here, all those other shots. These were when I was zeroing the scope. So I was getting, you know, I was getting up left, down right, and then I was getting, you know, like too high, too low, and then I got it centered, and that, I think the first one was over there, and then I got about 5 or 6 shots through that hole, and that was the flyer. So that's how accurate I expect that gun to be. And that's how accurate you should expect it to be if you own it. So that's why I want to help you get it there. So the moral of this story is that if you guys are interested in precision like I am, and you own an FX Impact or want to, and want to learn how to make it that accurate, all this stuff combined that I'm showing you in these couple of videos so far about the Impact, and then I'm gonna do that other video as soon as I get the rest of the stuff in, and I'm gonna also have the dual hole ports for every caliber. I got one for each one. They weren't that expensive. They were like 30 bucks. So, you know, you just, oh, and by the way, if you do get those, you have to make sure that you have the right barrel, because the end of the barrel, the back part that goes in, that seats in where the magazine is, that part is different on apparently older ones than newer ones. I don't know. Mine is not that old, so I don't know about the older ones. But these are one piece from right where it sits by the magazine up to where it changes it into black steel on the outside of the outer barrel. So there's no two sections that screw apart. So Huma makes a separate, you know, the two separate parts, and I actually didn't get both parts because I didn't know this, but they're on their way now. So that's why I have all three of these dual hole transfer ports, excuse me. I have all three calibers. So, and if you look at these ports compared to, I can show you the one. This is the original, this is the old 25 caliber, and this would be the 25 caliber here. So look at the size difference. It's pretty dramatic. And not to mention, with these, you know, it's nice that you have the choice between pellet and slug, but when you choose slug and you have all that extra air going in, there's a big hole for it to exhaust out the top, which is, I mean, you're better off with one or the other, or going somewhere in the middle and just having one hole, because that hole on the top is very counterproductive. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, you know, FX has done a lot right. I think they can afford one mistake, but that's definitely the one mistake. Because I can't understand why they would do both on one. I mean, they're trying to appeal to everyone. I get that, but at what cost? You know, you can't sacrifice certain things like air in a pneumatic gun that you're trying to get the most power you can out of, and then you're gonna sacrifice some of that power. You know, that's not. I think that was a rough call. Anyways. That's it. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I will see you guys as soon as I get the rest of this stuff. I have some stuff coming from Huma, a couple of things coming from Huma for the rest of those transfer ports, and then I have the 30 caliber barrel and magazines coming, and those were supposed to be here yesterday, and I didn't get them. Hopefully they'll come today. I don't know, but FedEx is notorious for screwing things up to where I don't see it for an undetermined amount of time, and then one day it shows up at random when it was supposed to be here weeks before, and then they think that's okay. FedEx sucks. Sorry, FedEx, you suck. Anyways, so I am going to, as soon as I get all that stuff together, the rest of it, I will put that video together, because I'm going to actually be, doing my new barrel tensioned like I did my others. So I figured that's the best time to make the video where you can see me actually doing it for myself. Just one more thing I can show you if you wanted to get started before I do the next video. This is what you need to thread it. This is just like a regular tap and die. I'm trying to get I think this is a half by 20, I want to say. I might be wrong. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. So the idea is, all you have to do is that end piece, it's threaded inside for the inside. So it screws into the shroud, and it also screws onto the bolt protruding from the end of the barrel. So the inner barrel and outer barrel have that nut that sets them to get together, and that tightens those in together. So the inner is tight inside the outer. And I do that with the carbon fiber. So it's tensioned inside also. And then this is, tell me I'm not gonna be able to see any numbers. I literally can't see any numbers. There are no numbers. I didn't look before. I just I grab the one that looks right and I try it, and if it's right, it's right, and it was. This one was. But I will find out that exact number for you. So if you guys want to buy the tap for it, then you can go ahead and do that. But if you buy a tap and die set, you'll be able to do the same thing. They're really not that expensive, honestly. You can get them. This is aluminum, don't forget, so it's not crazy hard. You don't even need to really use cutting oil, because you're only going a couple of threads, and it's fairly soft aluminum. It's not soft, but it's pretty soft. As far as, as far as compared to like automotive stuff, or if you're used to working with any kind of metal, this is a soft metal. So you're not going to need even cutting oil. It's only a few threads, and it's going to go through pretty easily. You just have to be careful that you do it straight. That's the important thing. Luckily, there's threads already going through, so you just let them guide you and keep going a little further straight. But anyways, I'll walk you through it as I do it on the 30 caliber as soon as it gets here. But in the meantime, if you did want to start, at least I'm trying to give you what I can so you can go ahead and do that. Okay? All right, thanks, guys.